I'm only 21 years old. Now, I'm not saying I know the key to a good life. Philosophers have been trying to figure that one out for thousands of years. And I'm not saying that anyone knows it, in fact. But I do think that there are 5 time investments we can make to improve the quality of our life, from improving the quality of our relationships to exercising daily. We can make big adjustments in our life. Actually, in private videos, I like to watch other people's to get some inspiration. And when I typed up time investment, I could not find a single video. I could only find videos about Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger and other finance-related investments. And that's kind of a problem for me. Not all of us have money to be investing in, but all of us do have time. There are things that we can do with that 1 hour a day that we have. And I think it's important to talk about these and level the importance of them with money investment. So I hope that these 5 time investments I'm gonna mention are something that every single person that's viewing this can learn from and hopefully achieve, because none of these involve social status or money, and no matter where you are in the world, these 5 things are things that we can actually do, unlike financial investments. Learning a new skill. I've spoken about this many times on my channel because humans are so tied to the jobs we do and the hobbies we have, and adding a new skill gives us a sort of other form of identity. And I think this really important, especially in your 20s when you're trying to distinguish yourself from the crowd. You know, when you're in high school, you're really just trying to be like everyone else. And eventually when you go into university or your young adult years, you realize that you need to do things for you that distinguish and that make you unique. Skills actually give us value, which we can turn into joy. Also, having a new skill could technically help you financially, whether you want to spend an hour a day learning how to code, which could potentially get you a job in coding in the future, or maybe you want to learn graphic design so you can go on Fiverr and start having a part-time job on selling some graphics. There are so many free or cheap sources out there that it's more accessible than ever to learn a new skill, but in turn could give you money. When we have skills in our life, we have achievements. We can say, oh, I'm actually fluent in French, or I can code SQL. And having worth in our life is something that can really affect our mental health, and being able to say that we have a passion and a purpose in life is extremely vital. Now, if you're trying to think about what kind of skill you could learn, let me introduce you to a platform I've been using for months now, and who are also the sponsor for today's video, Lingoda. The past, the present, and the future walk into a bar. It was tense. What languages do oranges speak? Mandarin. Yeah, okay, those jokes sucked. But here's something that doesn't suck. The fact that no matter what language we speak, laughter is something that everyone has in common. And I have found such joy and laughter from all of my courses over at Lingoda. They have made learning languages such a fun space for me. I personally had some great laughs during Lingoda learning idioms in German because, I don't know, maybe it's just me. The way they word things is really funny sometimes. And when you go into the history of what their idioms mean, they just make me giggle. It's the best way online, in my opinion, to learn a language, because each class has a target that is something that is actually applicable into your life. It's not just learn the present tense and learn every single verb and how to conjugate it. It's use the present tense in order to talk about your job, or use the conditional to ask how to order in a restaurant. Lingoda is flexible on all levels, from the times of the day you can pick a class to the types of class that you take. They really let you choose the way you want to learn a language. Another great thing about Lingoda is with my link, you can have a free trial and you can take free small group classes, which means you can try it out for yourself and figure out if you like it. And by it, I mean Lingoda platform, or the language that you're looking to learn. So click the link below in the description and you can receive 30% off your first payment, and you can get the free week trial that I was just talking about. What a great way to learn a new skill, and what a great time investment too. Speaking of time investments, let's look on to the second one, which is spending time on the relationships in your life. We become who we surround ourselves with, and it's really important to find people in your life that inspire you and have friendships that actually work. There's such a stigma that you have to have friends for life, but in reality, a lot of friendships are based off of convenience. You make a friend at work, you make a friend in a new class, you make a friend who is a neighbor. And just the same way that we don't marry the first person we date, we shouldn't become best friends with the first person we see. We should be friends with people that are a good influence on us, people that inspire us to be better, people that are kind to us. And I really think that as a whole, humans need to spend more time thinking about who the people they're surrounded with are. Another kind of segment to this, which isn't just making good friends, is taking care of the friendships and relationships you have, whether that's meeting up once a week for a coffee, or when you see your friend maybe not doing so well, taking the time to ask them how they're doing, and of course be genuine with it. This way you can make deeper connections with the people around you, and in turn it's going to do good things to you. The third time investment we can make is finding our life's passion. Now, I'm not saying this is easy, and I'm not saying you're gonna find it within the next week. I'm also not saying that your passion is going to be something you're going to be passionate about for life. For example, my first 18 years, I was passionate about music, but the past 3 years, I barely touched the piano. Even though it was my passion my whole childhood into my adulthood, it's not something that I feel the same way about. Our passions can change as we grow old, and they can also develop more. What's your hobby? When you get off work, do you go straight to the couch and watch Netflix, or do you open a good book? Do you cook a great meal? What makes you happy in life? And are you spending enough time on that? Having a passion is so good for our mental health, just like having a skill. It gives us another form of identity. It gives us a reason to wake up in the morning, because sometimes going to work is not good enough. The fourth time investment is physical health. I have made a full video, which I'll link up here, on the circadian rhythm, but let me quickly define it for you guys. The circadian rhythm is basically our internal clock, and when we wake up in the morning and we open the blinds and we see sunlight, the sunlight is therefore telling our body it's time to wake up, it's time to go. And if you get out of bed and you go walk in the morning, you're also helping your body to realize times of day, and these are really important. And that's why when you wake up, you want to get straight out of bed and open the curtains and let light in. You want to be seeing more light throughout the day. You want to be exercising as well, and you want to be dimming lights to, I don't know, real light outside to your phones and laptops before you go to bed so you can sleep well. These are all things that really affect our health, and as much as we're kind of conscious that we know we need to sleep well, we need to exercise every day, you should really look into the science of the circadian rhythm. You can't feel your best if your body is suffering, so remember, if you're feeling down one day, to take a day off and to focus on what usually gets you better. Find exercise that you find enjoyable and not horrifying. Now, on the other side of health, we have the fifth time investment, which is your mental health. I'd like to think I'm a bit of a mental health advocate on this channel, even for my banner, non-toxic productivity. You can look great from the outside, and concealer can cover anything, but if you're struggling in the inside, then these other 4 time investments I've talked about are all for nothing. You need to be feeling good to do good in life. I'm not saying that we're going to be 100% of the time. There are bad days and good days, and that doesn't mean that you're not taking care of your mental health. It's kind of like a wave. You know, good days, bad days. But it's something to think about. You know, are you taking care of your mental health? Are you calling friends and telling them what's on your mind? Are you talking to your significant other about a bad day you had at work? Are you calling a therapist if that's what you need? I've found that for me, what works in keeping my mental health is, even during COVID times, being sociable, whether it's a Zoom call with someone or talking to someone I'm living with, and journaling down my feelings. I'm quite a good journaler now, and I find it's a great way to get out what you want to talk about, everything that you're feeling inside, and all the stress or maybe joy in your life. I've also really enjoyed reading self-help books because they kind of make me feel pumped to do something good too. Some people are into yoga, some are into writing. It's really whatever makes you feel great mentally, but just make sure that you're listening to your body, and if you're not feeling great, you can't just put it in the back of your head because you have work. You have to focus on your mental health. Okay, I hope this video was insightful for some of you guys. Like I said, there are other forms of investment than money, and these 5 are things that we can do from the comfort of our own home and for free or for very cheap. Let me know below, do you guys take care of these 5 things in your life? And how are you doing lately? I'd love to know. Okay, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, here are 2 videos I recommend, and if not, that's okay. I hope you have a lovely day, and bye-bye.